Hey guys, welcome back everybody. So in the last video, we have seen that how to configure the OSPF routing protocol on the XR router. And we have seen that what are the, what are the differences happening in the configuration line between the iOS and XR as well. So today I'm going to show you how you can perform the verification command. Verification commands are very, very important in the tag. No matter you're working in the Cisco tag, Juniper tag, XR tag, but these verification commands are depend on the operating system by operating system as well, right? So on the Juniper it's a different, on the on the Cisco it's a different. But if I talk about like if you're working in the service provider tag or even in your enterprise network, if you have an XR router and if you perform the verification for the OSPF routing protocol, so these are the verification that you can use it to troubleshoot the OSPF and to gather the more information about the OSPF protocol as well. So main purpose of the verification commands are what? Let me tell you that. So the main use case, right on over here. Come on. So these two main use case we have for the verification command. The first we can use for the gather the information, right? So once you have the information, then you can perform the T-shoot as well. So these are the two main use cases that people are doing that. Now, the first command that we have, we need to verify that whatever the interface we have enabled in the OSPF routing record. So we can use the first login this router and say the show OSPF interface brief. So this command will show you that which interface has been enabled in the OSPF protocol. So if you see that my gig 0 by 0 and gig 0 by 1 as well, they have enabled the process ID 1, the area 0. And you can see that these are the IP address we have for the router number 1 and this interface as well. The cost of this interface is 1, right? And the state is BDR and I have a neighbor count right now. So this is the first command that we have over here. Let me put this command line in the notepad, right? Then after that, if you want to see the detailed information of this particular interface, let's example, I want to see the detailed interface information of this particular interface. I can put the command show OSPF interface, right? Gig 0 by 0 by 0 and have a look over here. So now I have a detailed information for this guy. So you can see that this is the router ID of the router number 1 and the network type is a broadcast, right? So the default behavior, all the Ethernet net interface are broadcast network type, right? So if you go with the, let's say example, if you have a serial link, then you have point to point. If you have a GRE terminal, then you have a point to point as well. OSPF is an intelligent protocol, and based on the interface, what happened, they identify or they select the network type as well, which is not happening in the case of EIGRP. This is one of the major difference between the EIGRP and OSPF routing protocol. Now you can see that for this particular network 12 or 0, the DR is the 2.2.2, which is the router ID of the R2, and the BDR is 1.1.1. So this is the second line command we have for the verification, right? Then we have we can also, let's example, I want to gather the information of the neighbor. I can put the command show OSPF neighbor. You can see that my neighbor is 2.2.2.2, which is my DR, and my neighbor is a 3.3.3, which is also my DR. Same thing, you can also check that show OSPF, right? It will give you the detailed information about that particular process ID, right? So OSPF number 1. So if you have a multiple process, then it will give you the multiple process as well. So if you put the question mark over here, that's, I really love it about the Cisco. They will ask you to define the process ID. So normally in production network, what happened? You have a multiple process, right? On let's say example, when you have a BGP LU scenario, right? Service provider environment, you have a multiple process ID on the configure on the single routers. So in that case, what happened? If you want to check for the particular process, the detailed information, you can mention the process ID number over here, right? But right now I have a single process. I can just put the source script and you can see that this is my router ID. And now you can go down. You can also see that whatever the interface we have in the backbone area right now. That's good. Now, same way, if you want to check the database information, you can put the command source for database, right? And these are my database information. So as we know that, right? So we have within the areas, we have a LSA number 1 and LSA number 2 information. So this is my router LSA right now for the area 0. And this is my network LSA we have for the area 0. So if you have a 4 routers, 4 networks, 4 router LSA, and we have a 4 network 1, 2, 3, 4, I will have a 4 network LSA as well. router LSA will be generated by the every router. So if you have a 10 router, you will have a 10 router LSA. If you have a 20 router, you will have a 20 router LSA. If I come to the network LSA, so network LSA, it's depend on the DR. So if you have a 5 DR, you will have a 5 network LSA. And if you have a 10 DR, you will have a 10 network LSA. Now, the same way, right? These are the verifications command. Let me write on this thing. I forget to write. So OSPF interface, not so OSPF, and we can put the command so OSPF database as well, right? You can also check that the lot of things we have. So OSPF, if you're gonna put the question mark, right? Depend on the requirement, you can use the multiple command as well, right? So let's example, you wanna see that our address of the OSPF protocol, you can check that. You can verify the segment routing as well, right? If you're running with the segment routing and you wanna explore the segment routing information, you can also use the say OSPF segment routing command. You can also check the OSPF summary. You can also check the OSPF statistics. That's gonna give you the how much what we how much packets we are extending in the for the process ID one as well. So the command source interface and give that interface number. So whatever the packets we are going to exchange for that interface, you can also explore from here as well. So this is one of the best troubleshoot command, right? To identify it that your interface is enabled or not, and your interface is extending your packets or not. So you can further explore the same command. You can put the question mark and explore the more command line, right? For the OSPF troubleshooting purpose as well. For the most important part is what you can also take the SOTEC for the OSPF protocol to gather the more and more information. So normally what happens if something is going wrong with something went wrong with the OSPF protocol, you can take the SOTEC for the OSPF and you can gather the more information, and then further you can troubleshoot as well. One more thing I want to discuss regarding over here. You can also check the SO process, right? And we have OSPF number 1, right? So you can see that. So normally what happened when you're going to enable the OSPF, right? The process will be enabled for that OSPF. So you can also check that your process is running or not. So right now the process state is run right now. I'll make a separate video on all the state of the process, right? And the state is normal right now. So everything is working good right now. This process has been started on the 23rd September. The timing is this one. So if I'm going to restart my process, right, then what happened? The restart time come over here, right? And the span will be also, the PID will be also changed over here. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video, right? On the next protocol as well.